Hey, it's Danny from Conscious Calisthenics. So I wanted to share with you today in this video why I eat carbs on the carnivore diet, which a lot of people out there that may be listening to me saying this now may be thinking to themselves, well, I thought on a carnivore diet you're meant to eat no carbs whatsoever. Which, yes, there are a lot of people that feel that it is essential for them to be on a zero carb carnivore diet, but then there's some people that feel they need some carb sources. And no, they are not plant-based carb sources that I am having on the carnivore diet. Otherwise, I definitely am not eating a carnivore diet whatsoever. They are fully animal-based. And yeah, I'm going to list off 4 reasons to you in this video as to why, for me personally, I feel that I need to eat carbs on the carnivore diet. So the number 1 reason, and this reason out of the 4 different reasons, is the exact reason as to why I started needing to implement some carb sources. The other different reasons, yeah, I would prefer that when I'm not eating carbs on a carnivore diet to get those other 3 different things I'll mention in a short while, but they are not deal breakers for me to push myself in the direction to have carbs on a carnivore diet. So the number 1 reason is, yes, I found once I switched to a carnivore diet last year in late November that I felt really, really amazing from it. It resolved so many different health issues and symptoms that I had. I talk about everything that it resolved for me, that yeah, all these negative effects that had been induced in me after being on a malnourishing, unsustainable vegan diet for 6 years, when switching to the carnivore diet, it resolved so many different things within me, holistically, inside and out. And I talk about all the different benefits I got in a video that I'll put a link for up above. So if you want to learn more about that, then you can by clicking the link up above. So yeah, even though I got so many different amazing benefits, I got to a point where I found my energy levels were just not that high. My skin was amazing, my mental health was amazing, but my energy levels were down, and I found that my strength just wasn't there. I really couldn't work out. It's just like, it just wasn't happening for me whatsoever, which this is not the case for a lot of different people out there that get on carnivore diet, but we are not all the same. And yes, I tried eating more fat, that didn't make any difference. I tried eating more protein, I tried so many different things, such as upping my salt intake, my water intake, so many different things that people say that could be causing you issues on a carnivore diet. Every single thing I tried, it just couldn't resolve those issues. So I naturally started going in the direction of trying out some other food sources that were not carnivore diet foods, and I found that I started to feel better, but the carb sources I was eating just wasn't making me feel optimal. And this was late last year I started doing this, but I quit it quite a while ago because it just wasn't making me feel the best. Yeah, it started to resolve my energy levels, but it was making my mood all over the show, and it was just not the best thing for me to be doing. So then I got to a point where I was like, okay, let's get back on the carnivore diet. And I talk all about why I quit for many different reasons, the carnivore diet, after doing it for 30 days. If you haven't seen that video, click the link up above to view that video now, where I talk about that in way more detail than I do in this video. So when I actually posted that video, there was quite a few long-term carnivore people that said you need to start having some animal-based carb sources, such as raw honey and raw milk, which I had for around 5 months been trying to source raw milk, but in Thailand it is banned. But after a lot of diligent work, which I had done before, about, I think, a month and a half ago, I managed to find a milk supplier that could sell a raw milk behind the door, so to speak, which is really good. So I ended up sourcing the raw milk and started sourcing the highest quality raw honey, where they were not feeding the bees any sugar water, which most beekeepers out there do, which I do not think that any beekeeper should be doing. That is not good for the bees. It doesn't make the honey as nutrient dense and as of high quality as possible. And guess what? Once I started eating an abundance of meat, as I have been on the carnivore diet, having the salt that I'd have on that, the unrefined one, of course, not that refined sea salt, which is really toxic for you, and started having an abundance of raw milk and having quite a bit of raw honey, I found that about a month and a half ago, when I started doing that, it's easy for me to be on a carnivore diet and not have any of the energy issues or the strength issues. So I found that it's helped optimize my sports performance, it's made my energy levels more stable, and it just makes me feel better all around mentally and physically. And what I want to say is this may not be the case for you. I have some people that have destroyed their health way more than I have, that have tried consuming raw milk or raw honey, and it makes them feel absolutely awful. So if you want to experiment with this, be aware it may work for me, but it may not work for you. But yeah, something I add is some people don't tolerate A1 Beta Casein milk, which most milk out there contains A1 Beta Casein. So there's a lot of people that need to have A2 Beta Casein milk. So if you try the A1 Beta Casein milk, don't get on with it, try some A2 Beta Casein milk and you may get on with that a lot better. But if you try both of those, you don't feel good, just don't consume them whatsoever. Listen to your body. Don't listen to me saying it's really good, and if you try it and you're not feeling good from it and saying why I'm not feeling good, and you keep doing it even though it's not working, just stop doing it. Your body knows best. So listen to the signs it's giving you when consuming raw milk or any other foods that you want to experiment with on the carnivore diet. And I did actually make my first what I eat in a day carnivore diet, which shows me consuming things such as honey and milk and all the other foods that I consume on the carnivore diet. And what I say is, at first with the raw honey, I found that I needed quite a lot of it, is that I was consuming a lot of it. And a lot of time I was consuming it on its own, and then other times consuming it mixed in to the raw milk. But I'm now at a point, after having quite a lot, that my body feels that it doesn't need that much, and I actually don't like consuming it on its own anymore. So my intake of it has now dropped by probably like 200%. So I'm not actually consuming that much honey compared to what I was eating in the past, like you see in that what I eat in a day carnivore diet video that I did recently. But yeah, I'm still consuming an abundance of milk. I normally consume around 3 liters, which is just under a quart of raw milk a day. And yeah, like I said, it just makes me feel the best that I can feel, function to the best of my ability. So yeah, it just feels really good that I found an answer that I could implement into my diet so I could sustain the carnivore diet long term, because it feels the best to me. And the thing with the milk compared to the honey is milk is very high in protein, fat, and carbs. So it feels a lot more balanced to me than the raw honey, because raw honey, it still is a pure carb source. It does actually have amino acids in it, but the protein is pretty much almost non-existent. So yeah, let's get on to the other 3 things. The second one that I found on a carnivore diet, which a lot of people would love this benefit, is that I was getting way too lean. My body fat percentage was going down to the lowest that it's ever been, which I already don't have a lot of body fat, as you can see here, and I also put some images here as well. And this wasn't necessarily affecting me in a negative way, but I didn't want to get any leaner. So yeah, my body fat went down. I also found my water weight went down, and I found that I just couldn't gain weight whatsoever. Like, it was pretty much impossible for me to do so. And I remember when this is going on for me, I did a lot of research, and I found, I think it was a website called Meathead Barbell. I'll put a link down below for it. And he's someone that has been a long time bodybuilder and other times a powerlifter. And he found that he just could not gain weight on the carnivore diet until he started implementing carbs into his diet. And guess what he found as well? Once he implemented carbs, his energy levels skyrocketed, and his sports performance and his overall strength in the gym when working out. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, let's try out the raw milk, and it worked so well. So yeah, for me personally, finding that out, experimenting with having some animal-based carb sources, my weight has actually gone up, which is a really, really good thing. The third thing is, when I am eating a zero carb carnivore diet, I find that I cannot eat loads and loads of calories, which is obviously a factor in determining how lean you're going to be or not. When you're in a calorie deficit, which I always am when I'm on a zero carb carnivore diet, I can't get weight on and I just lose a lot of weight, which is amazing if you're someone that's overweight, but not for me. But yeah, by having an abundance of milk every single day, which I can just drink so much of this every single day, it just gives me loads more calories, like thousands and thousands more calories than I would get on a zero carb carnivore diet. And number 4, and this is no big, real massive issue for me. I could do it if I really needed to, but I live in a tropical environment in a place known as Koh Phangan, Thailand, which is a very hot tropical island. My whole house is surrounded by jungle life, and it is extremely hot throughout the day. And then to go and eat cooked meat, because no, I'm not eating raw meat whatsoever. It's just not very appealing to me to eat meat that is cooked and that is very hot when it's very hot in the day, for very understandable reasons. I'm sure that it will make sense to you as to why I don't eat cooked meat in the day. But with milk, I normally have it either room temperature or cold. If I'm very hot, I prefer it cold. So it actually helps cool down my body way more than it would do if I was eating cooked meat. And the thing is with the raw milk, because I drink it cold most of the time, it's just way more appealing to me to consume when it's very, very hot within the day. So yeah, I hope this is giving you some insights into this specific topic that I've talked about today. Maybe you're someone that is not feeling the best on a carnivore diet, and maybe you need to experiment with these. I would say if you are, once you start trying them out, just start out with small amounts, because if it's not going to make you feel good and give you some negative effects and you consume quite a bit, which I've had some friends do that, it will then make you feel way worse than if you consumed a lot less. So it's all about trying it out in small amounts, listen to your body. If you feel good from it, then start upping the amount that you are consuming. And yeah, if you feel really amazing from it, continue doing it. Like I said, if you don't, just don't do it. It's really that simple. So leave your comments and questions down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to receive a lot more videos from me talking about the carnivore diet. And I also have many ex-vegan interview videos on this channel at the moment, and many more coming in the future. And yeah, if you have any specific types of videos you'd like me to make, let me know down below. And don't forget to click that subscribe button down below to get new videos from me on a weekly basis. So yeah, make sure you enjoy the rest of your day and seize the day and just have the best day ever. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.